most lopsided fight on the entire card. I mean, we have Natalia Silva taking on Victoria Leonardo, and I say lopsided, but that's in terms of the odds. When you look at it in terms of the overall hierarchy in this division, both of these women on win streaks, both of them looking to move forward. Victoria Leonardo, her last time out, no illegal strikes. She beat Mandy Byrne. The judges were in it, but all three of them scored at 30-27. Leonardo in that matchup, she pressured well. She mixed in her combination. She looked like a complete package type of fighter in that one. Taking on Natalia Silva, who was about a plus 200 in her debut against Jasmine Jasudavicius. Now, the craziest part about this is she fought Jasudavicius last year. That's when Natalia Silva made the debut. After a 2.5-year layoff, you're going to go, why? Because she was the Jungle Fights champ before that. Yes, she was. Silva was supposed to make her debut in 2021 against Victoria Leonardo. Broke the ulna. Then we had the long layoff. Leonardo ends up in the UFC, loses her first two, and now we're here. But the way that Silva looked in that fight against Jasudavicius, defended all the takedowns, lit her up on the feet. You look at her last time out against Teresa Bleda. What's Bleda going to do if she's going to win? Take you down over and over and over again. She wasn't able to get the takedown, and as that fight went on, Silva's output went up. Silva was able to really start to land the kicks to the body. That was ultimately the demise of Bleda. But you saw it out of Silva. 1, 2, 3. Finish every combination with a kick, and Silva had a lot of success in those striking areas. And
she showed an ability to upgrade fight between fight. And I do think that's important for a fighter who's still only 26 years old, because I do think there's still some room for improvement, even though she does have a very good foundational skill set built up already.
Man, I mean, Natalia Silva training with Paulo Costa, Team Baracha, with Carlos being the head coach there. But you look at somebody like Natalia Silva, you consider the background of both of these women. I mean, for Victoria Leonardo, she does have jiu-jitsu in her back pocket. She's somebody that spends a lot of time in the gym. Obviously, Brett Mason being her husband, owning the gym at Elite Combat, that's a big, big deal. But training with people like Andrea Lee down in that kind of Louisiana region, you look at a matchup like this, and I know a lot of people are going to count Victoria Leonardo out because we've seen those two pressure fighters that Silva's faced in the UFC, maybe even at a little bit of a higher level, kind of struggle against some of her striking. So it is a tough ask for Leonardo in this one. But Leonardo, to her credit, the strength of schedule is definitely there for her in a matchup like this.
It is. Do you want me to give the pick now, or do you want to do the Tapology bit?
No, I mean, I did see today out there on Twitter, Silva's a minus 1,000 favorite. So there's not much to it.
No, exactly. Again, you'd like to give a more complete breakdown. But again, when you just think about both fighters' skill sets, Leonardo has gotten better, but she's not nearly as diverse of a striker. She doesn't really have the output going for her either. So if Silva is able to start getting downhill, gaining momentum with her strikes, what does Leonardo have to do to really be able to stop that momentum? That's what this fight's going to come down to. For me personally, I just think the numbers of Silva are far going to outweigh whatever Leonardo can bring to her on the feet. Now, Leonardo might be able to counteract some of that with some clinch work. She's a very physical fighter, a very big fighter too. So I think she could wear on Silva and maybe equal out that power bar as this fight does continue. But again, if it comes down to output, I definitely like Silva in the matchup.
I mean, Leonardo, 2016 IKF Muay Thai belt. To her credit, she's got a Kung Fu background and a purple belt in BJJ. Was also a high school Spanish teacher before she got into the UFC. Some fun stuff there. But when you do look at it, I mean, Taekwondo is the background of Silva. That kind of lends credence to those kicks that you see on the outside. And I know her last time against Bleda, 120 to 40 were the total strikes in that matchup. She defended 6 of 7 Bleda takedowns. When I do look at it, I know Mega Dan saying the odds don't really reflect how much better Silva is, but when you do consider it, like minus 1,000 is juice, so I consider it a little bit of a pop and popcorn matchup myself, but I do like Natalia Silva in the in-betweens in this matchup. Again, if it was the Silva that we saw with Jungle Fights before she won the belt, her striking didn't really mix with her grappling. She left big openings on the feet, but we haven't necessarily seen that in the UFC, and Silva's been able to beat similarly styled fighters, I guess. So for me, I do have Natalia Silva in the matchup. It might not come as a giant success, but I going with Silva in this one.
Yeah, I've got Silva. It's a pretty easy pick.
All right, Matt. Both of us going with Natalia Silva in this matchup. The next fight on the card, a couple of guys who are short on pro experience, and they've tasted defeat recently. It's Chase Hooper taking on Nick Fiore.